gonna start this. I wanna go. That's how I feel after watching this fucking podcast. Is that
You want to go
done.
home?
I'm done. And we filmed these from our homes to your homes. Hi. Welcome to the Extra Friends podcast. We post every week without fail. Except for when we don't.
Except for when we have a 7-month hiatus.
Hiatus.
But we're back. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Tex.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are you?
Lumi.
And we're your extra friends.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry we've been out of town for like 7 months. We meant to call and write a postcard, but I forgot your address. We've also forgot your name. Put your name in the comments below, please.
Please.
Please and thank you.
I feel like we should start off with what the fuck has been happening for the last 7 months.
Should we do a good old check-in?
Yeah, do a good old check-in first, and then we'll get going on there. And I have some spicy news that happened recently that I also would like to share.
I'm so excited for spicy news because I have not spoken to you in like 3 weeks. All right, so don't worry, y'all. It's Lumi too, and just we don't speak to each other anymore. I'm too cool for you guys. For you losers. Just kidding. So hi everybody, this is the Extra Friends podcast. We're a podcast of all your extra friends. Come hang out with us. We talk about literally anything we want to. God damn it. And at any point, if you wanted to join in and do that with us, you're more than welcome to. We normally start off with a check-in. It's been like 7 months, so I will re-engage what our check-in is. Essentially, we're just starting off the podcast fresh. I want to know how you're feeling, your comfortability, where you're at energy-wise. Sometimes we're not here. Sometimes we got shit to do, bills to pay, and make it hard to focus. Or you're like, fuck yeah, I turned all my homework in early, and now I can be on the podcast with my friends and get to listen to them fully. So our check-ins are going to be about the comfortability and how energetic we are to be here. I am excited to be back after a very long hiatus. So I would say that I'm very, very comfortable. I am currently engaged in a allergy attack, so my eyes are uncomfortable, but I'm very comfortable being here. I would say my energy level is probably like a medium. I'm very tired, but I'm excited to be here because it's been a while. I have a lot of great news too. It's been 7 months. We got a lot of things to update. Take it away, Lumi.
I am super comfortable. I've got some medium energy just because of how things are going recently, but I'm really excited to be back. I'm hoping that we are going to be off to some bigger, better things this time.
Can we do some pronouns? Pronouns since it's been a while.
Yeah. So I'm Lumi. I'm Tex's sister, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Tex. I'm a Lumi sibling, and I go by they, them. Or she. Or he. Or they, them. Whatever you feel comfortable with. If it's weird, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
Sir.
Yes, sir. I prefer sir. I prefer they, but also I look like a woman. And I have breastises, and that's okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for the podcast. Up there. That was the only updates we had. That was it. Just kidding. No, I'm excited to hear about what the hell you've been up to, Loom, because we actually haven't spoken, like, me and you together in a while, and I want to know all the spicy deets. Do you want to start with, like, what the hell you've been doing for 7 months?
Yeah, I think...
Or do you want to start with, ooh?
Sorry, camera went out. Yeah, I think we should definitely go on, start off of where we left off, because...
Okay.
Back in the holiday times, when things were tough for a second.
The last post we did was fucking January of this year. And then
was it January?
It was January, and stuff got tough after that.
It got tough. I posted one of my first fully edited gaming videos, which I don't know how well that's doing. I haven't looked at it in a second, but it was one of the most fun I've had in a video. It was me and my friend Tanner, and we were playing Phasmophobia, and it was just a good time. I got to put a lot of effort into it. It's very mediocre at best, but I really enjoyed doing it. So if you haven't seen that already, it's on our channel.
Yeah, it'll be in the video, the little icon thing up top.
Mm-hmm. But that was about the last thing that I did. And going forward from that, so in February would be the following. What happened next? Um, that was a fucking doozy, February for me at least. My birthday's in February, so I actually ended up turning 20, which is cool.
Yay!
But I also applied for a different job because my current retail job was not treating me very nicely. So I quit. I don't even remember what happened. I think I was trying to get Valentine's Day off because I had covered everyone for the holidays. And they were like, oh, y'all hear something? And I didn't get that day off, but I chose to take it off. So I just didn't show up for work. And then they were like, well, you're going to get written up for this. I'm like, well, you can't write me up if I quit. And I quit. So
God damn.
that's what happened. But I had something to fall back on because I had gotten a different job at the same time. But this all happened during the same week. So it was I also Thanksgiving. It was Valentine's Day, and then it was my birthday. I quit my job and I started my other job on the 15th.
Oh, and you did one more big thing.
And I moved. The reason why I moved, literally one of the only reasons why I moved, was because the house that my boyfriend was going to move into with his best friend was 10 minutes away from my job, which currently at the time was like a half hour away from the house that I was living in. So I was like, shit, it's 10 minutes away. Let's go. I'm going to move out for the first time. I get to move out with my boyfriend. It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. Not what it was cut out to be at all. But I'll talk more about that later.
With ass.
But that was all of my February. So a whole bunch of life changes, and literally, I shit you not, in a single week. And then I moved out. Was there any big events that happened for you in February?
Not really. No, it was a lot of watching you do that, like watching you crash and burn. Oh my god. Oh my god, let me save you. You had a lot of cool things happening. No. It was really, really cool. You had a lot of cool things move out at the same time, and so that was fun to watch you sprout into a beautiful butterfly. You like turned into a little person overnight. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's cool to see you grow and get biggle and become a big little sister. And then you got your doggo.
I did get a doggo.
Right after you moved in.
That happened in March. I got my little princess. I guess I didn't even have her at all since we started recording. I got my dog Jinjo. I believe it was like March 15th or something. And she was a little 8-week-old little pup. And she's the love of my life. She's my child. I've never had a stronger bond with this dog. Like, she's the best. That was fun. Because I just called up Tex the same day and I was just like, hey, do you want to go help me get a dog?
And I was like, absolutely, I do.
So I pulled my boyfriend and I took Tex along and I'm just like, we gotta go. We drove out, I think it was like an hour and 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it was far.
It was kind of far. But I got her and I held her in my arms and just stared into her eyes the entire drive back. She peed on me. It's okay. The entire ride back to our house. And yeah, she's loved my life. Great. She was probably one of the only positive things that happened to me in that house that I moved into. Because I thought that was going to be a really cool thing. Like, we were moving in with so it was me and my boyfriend and his best friend since middle school and his best friend's family. And I'm like, this is gonna be great.
It's gonna
He
be
has to spend time with
great.
his best friend. I get to be with my boyfriend. It's gonna be great. And then yeah,
If
the
you
best friend's
have sex,
mom.
you gotta fat uja.
Yeah, I definitely would. Best friend's mom didn't like me very much. I could not tell you why she didn't like me. She just really didn't. And she
Yeah.
made it her personal like goal to make my life a living hell
She
every
had a
single day.
weird vendetta against you, which is fine. I feel like some people do that because they've got unfulfilled parts of their life, so it's like easy. Anger is just misplaced everything else, right?
Uh-huh.
Anger and whatever is just misplaced fear or anxiety or whatever. And she's had a lot going on in her life at the time, so I just think it all came out to what's the newest and weakest common denominator? Loom.
There's also like I don't know. It was one of those things like you don't know boyfriend like I know your boyfriend. I
Weird.
practically raised him. I
Weird.
was his lunch lady. And at first it was
Weird.
like maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I was the one that was like being weird or spiteful. But it got to the point where I was like all my stuff got in the way, which is like just the week groceries that I could afford into one cabinet. She ended up buying a whole nother fridge. And it like progressively, like the little microaggressions weren't so micro after a little bit.
Aggressions. It was
It
aggression. That's
was
a great
aggressive.
like podcast topic is just talking about living experience and roommates and shit. I mean, you can talk about it here
Yeah.
too.
No, I'm sure you have many stories yourself about some living experiences. Boy,
No, but
do I.
boy, do I. But you're so new to it that like, you gotta live and learn. Nobody has like the perfect roommate or living with people experiences.
Well, especially because like I was meant to be like in a safe space. Like this was me and my boyfriend the first time we get to live together. And mind you,
Right.
he had just moved here like in November. No, like December he moved here. Um so it's been like he had just moved and now it was a chance for us to be together because we did the whole long distance thing. Um that part was fine, but we started having some issues because we were tense. We were my dog's in the background. We were in a tiny room that we were paying like way too much for. And the reason why he wanted to move in with his friend, because we were already planning to move together in January, but we didn't. I ended up dropping out of school during the same time, so I haven't been to school
God
since
damn, you
that
changed a
time.
lot in those
I
last
changed
couple
a lot.
months.
So I dropped out of school. We're like, hey, let's move in together in a different apartment. But he really wanted to stick with his friend because they just moved from New York. So he was like, yeah, let's just live with my friend for a little bit. I'm talking like until they pay off their deposit. And bada bing, bada boom, we'll get out. Like, don't get too comfy because we'll get out. Um, so we ended up enduring that for like 5 months.
Rough.
And that was when we were like, okay. At first he was like, hey, I don't need you to like start any problems with anybody. Like, just lay low. Like, I know it's irritating, but
Supportive boyfriend he
well,
is.
at first he didn't realize what was going
Hey,
on, and
just
then he
shut your
okay,
mouth.
he didn't realize that it was as bad as it was until like one day he was wondering why I left the room for so long, and he walked into the laundry room because that's where I said I was gonna go do laundry, and found mom reprimanding me, and he was like, "What the fuck is happening? Like, she's not my mom. She's not his mom." So, it was just a weird experience, and then that was the same point where I was telling her like, "I don't feel welcome here. I'm gonna leave anyway." So, you know, don't get too fussy. And then so we found another apartment. This is 5 months later. And we had to move out immediately. Immediately.
Immediately.
Because landlord comes in to fix like the dishwasher or something. And he heard my dog. And this woman just threw herself under the bus. Because instead of saying, yeah, it's the dog that we've had this whole time, she was like, no, it's some other dog that you've never seen before. It's the girl's dog. And he was like, yeah, well, I didn't know about this dog. You need to fix that right now. And she was just like, you guys need to move out now. And I'm like, okay. Thank
Cool,
God,
thanks.
because that was the
Yeah.
only reason. Like, we had an indisputable reason to leave now. It should have been way past like the time that they were done paying off their deposit, and they were kind of like, I feel like they were mooching off of us a little bit.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
so we had like a week to move out, and we did. We found a really nice apartment, and we moved out. It's a little bit like pricey. Like, we're barely holding on. We've been in the apartment now for a month, and it's been
Yeah.
really nice. We've rekindled our relationship because we were going through some tough times. It was honestly just because of that house. Oh, and then after all of that, his friend of however many years just like ghosted him
Love that.
as if we did something wrong. I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna be upset with anybody, you could just like use me as a scapegoat, like your mom's been doing that so far. But like, I don't know. And this is an adult man, by the way, but his head was like so far up his mom's ass that he couldn't be like an adult about it and try to be friends with my boyfriend still. Like, I don't
Some
know.
people can't be adults. Some people don't have the emotional maturity to do that.
He needs to go touch a woman, get laid or
Oof.
something. Well, anyway, so we've been here for a month, and then another big thing happened. We got our second dog. We got 2 dogs. Jinjo, she's really sweet, but she has a little bit of separation anxiety. She ended up moving into this new house. She's gonna be a little nervous. She got her little brother, and they have been 2 peas in a pod this entire
That's
time.
great.
Yeah, they're best friends. The little boy could care less about me and Michael. Like, he just wants to hang out with his sister. And his little Buster, there's Buster Brown, the little pug mix, and he is also like the cutest thing ever. I love them very much. They wreak havoc daily. They keep me on my toes though, because I'm cleaning up like constantly because of them. Like, I think they're chewing up cords as we speak.
Yeah, welcome to having puppers. And 2 at that, my goodness.
They're good though. They're really good.
Welcome back, Lumi.
Yeah. Welcome back. I
Welcome
definitely
back.
feel like the Lumi I was when I left. Again.
That's good.
Because that house was killing me.
It's a tough time, so you can tell why we didn't film for quite a long time, because it was a lot of change that happened all at once, right? Yeah. One of those things. I'm proud of you, Loom.
Me too.
Lots of change in the last half year. This year's had a lot of transition.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? You said
It was lots of transition.
So a transition.
It's a lot of transition.
A transition to pops and a burb.
Oh yeah, I got a bird too. Oh my god, I didn't even mention that. We had a bird like early on in
Lumi's
the
here just
house time.
collecting animals.
Yeah. I would
How many
collect
animals can we
more.
fit into a 1-bedroom apartment? Let's count.
You know, this apartment's very nice though, so
It is nice.
it's a little out of my budget because they're like barely holding on sometimes, but it's okay.
To be fair, everything in Phoenix is going to be out of your budget. Going to be out of everyone's budget because the housing market is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Our house is the same way right now. He's fine.
What's about to you before I get to Pisces?
The movie Bambi when he dad dies. Holy shit, am I like a different person from last year? Oh, not really. Not really. I'm the same person. Shit's just been happening around me. February, I watched you implode, which was really scary, but also like, this is a great learning experience for this young lad. And so I went through all of that fun stuff. I started my second internship, which actually already offered me a job, which is kind of cool. I'm a school
Very
counselor, trauma-informed based counselor, and I could not tell you how excited I am about that. Because it's my life passion and goal to be a counselor, and I actually got my first job doing that, which is cool. I'm still working 40 hours of the other job, but it's great for the meantime. As we move through, so I started my internship. Me and Loche took a nice little trip to Hawaii, where we met his best friends. 15 years that he's never met in person before. That was exciting. And then guess what this motherfucker did? Guess what he did? Guess what? What do you think he did? No.
I think he almost died multiple times.
Get eaten by sharks. Yeah, we just have a relaxing trip in Hawaii, and we just did really dangerous things, like we swam with like manta rays, which was like, oh, so beautiful, so gracious, so nice. It was like 50 degrees, and we were a couple miles out from the shore, and we were just perpendicular to the water, parallel to the water, perpendicular to the fucking manta rays. They're like, yeah, if you know how to snorkel, this is the job for you. None of us have ever snorkeled before. Terrifying. But it was beautiful. We went to Hilo in Kona, Hawaii, which is on the big island of Hawaii. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. One moment. And then at the very end of the trip, last few days, Loche, the man himself, Mr. Big Boy over here, decided to pop the question. So guess who's getting married, bitch?
Hey!
He fucking locked me down. He's like, I can't lose.
Somebody locked down Tex.
He locked him down, boys. He locked him down. So we're getting married.
Congratulations.
In a few years. I'm so excited. I've wanted nothing more in my life for a very long time than to be a spouse. To be a counselor and then a spouse. And all these things are happening at the same time, which is super cool.
Good
Our
spicing.
best friend, Wagon, moved back to town. She lives with us now, which is super exciting. Her and her dog, Charlie, my nephew, Charlebiathan, he lives here with her.
Hold on.
Yes.
Charlebiathan.
His name is Charles Barkley the third. Charles Barkley. His name is Charlie.
Leviathan.
Charlebiathan.
Okay.
And he's 6 years old. I'm just kidding. He's like probably 11. He's a corgi golden retriever mix, and he's perfect. And I love him so much. My nephew. His name is Charlie, but we call him Carlos or Peanut Butter Boof Boy or Chuckletina.
Peanut Butter Boof Boy.
But Loche calls him Charlebiathan. I don't know where it came from, but it's there. So Charlebiathan, and then they have 2 other cats, Zeus and Apollo. So now we have 7 cats in our house. Oh, I started fostering kittens. Only special needs kittens, so the underweight, super sick, special needs. I've had 3 successful singletons. I have 2 currently right now, so our house is very full. Our house is the Rainforest Cafe. And I'm on my last leg of my master's. I'm almost done. Pray for me. I'm so tired. I'm almost done with my master's, and so that's all the fun stuff that's happening right now. There's been a lot of other things behind the scenes, like a lot of moving pieces, transitions with family and stuff like that. But I mean, it's all been positive stuff. Everything has been great. I'm exhausted. So tired. I'm not going to be planning any kind of wedding, anything until next year because I just cannot function or focus on it right now. But we're getting married in 2024. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Are you excited, Liv?
I'm so excited for you.
I'm so excited. I wanted nothing more for a very long time to be a spouse, to have a husband, and now we're doing that. Very excited. That's like literally been the updates. I can't think of anything else. Maybe Phineas and Ferb, the Burbs.
Rest
in peace. I rescued 2 birds. They both died. Phineas happened to die on the day that Loche was like, "This is a great day to propose." I'm watching my partner just cry their eyes out about this bird that they rescued like 6 weeks ago. I'm gonna go ahead and fucking propose. I think this is a great time. He was like sitting in the room next to us going like, are they they're dying? I should propose.
They're dying?
They're dying. Um, yeah,
You
Loche
can
like
say what Nori said when all
oh
after.
yeah. So so I find so my brother Thunder Knight was watching our house. That's his legal name. He was watching our house for us and him and his girlfriend, and he was taking care of Phineas and Ferb. Well, it's just Phineas because Ferb already passed away by this point. Just Phineas. They were little house sparrows, like the little brown ones you see in Arizona. Phineas was in the game room, and we had the 3 cats, obviously. So Thunder was staying at the house watching it for us, right? Hang on a second. Sorry, I had to snot off
There you go. That's
camera.
my elevator music while you're snotting.
I appreciate it. It's very Pikmin.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. So
Oh.
he was watching the house for us, and he was just feeding him worms, having a great time. He calls me Friday morning, the Friday that we're on vacation. We were already gone for 4 days at this point. We were going to be gone until Monday. And Thunder reaches out and he goes, "Hey, Phineas is gone." Poor Thunder. He was so attached to that bird. He was only there for 3 days. He's like, "I loved him. He was so
Oh.
cute." I was like, "I know, he was really cute." And we taught him how to fly and he would eat worms. He was super excited about everything. He was so sweet. He would like watch me like put clothes in the suitcase when I was packing and he walked on the floor next to me. He was just such a cute guy.
So
Um,
Thunder just walked in and he was gone.
yeah, he just walked in and he was gone. That was it. And of course, we're 3 hours ahead, so it's like 6 in the morning for us. So he calls us. He goes, "Tex." I'm like, "What happened?" And he goes, "I'm so sorry, but Phineas, Mom." And I was like, "Oh no,
Oh.
what happened?" The nerd. He's like, "I'm so sorry, but Phineas didn't make it through the night. Like he was fine yesterday. Like we were playing with him and everything. He was fine, but birds do that, especially baby birds. If they're like, mother's gone, bleh, like they're dead.
What
Like
am I
just
gonna
dead.
do?
What am I gonna do? My mother's dead.
What am I gonna do? Bring it.
Fling it.
Oh, sorry, Tech.
It's okay. So anyway, I woke up that morning and I go out to see Nori. Nori's our friend that we were vacationing to meet, right? It was Nori and Carrie. We were meeting Loche's long-term, like 15-year-long friendship. Never met them in real life. We were spending Hawaii together. Great time. I walk out and Nori's like, "Why is your face red?" Like, nothing. I'm sad. And so I told her that my bird died. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "It's okay." So I'm like, I'm like distressed. I'm very upset. My hair is a fucking mess. Like I didn't have any makeup on. We weren't gonna go anywhere that day. That was just a chill day anyway because we already almost died 3 times on this trip. Um, we were just like chilling. We were laying in bed, and finally Loche's like, "Let's go ahead and go out to the patio. Let's have some coffee and just relax." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like disassociating by this point. I don't know my name anymore. I'm just really sad. This bird really took it out of me, man. I'm just really upset. And then Loche goes up to me and he goes, "Moving." Okay, thank God. I had to ask you a question. I'm like, I missed the question. Wait, can you go back a little bit? I missed everything. And he pulled out this little ring and he asked me if I could marry me. And it was really sweet. And I was like, it was now? This is the time? This is the best time you can consider? Um, it was a great time though. So I left a single man and I came back a married man.
Wait,
I'm not
wait, wait,
married
wait,
yet.
wait, wait. The Nori
What?
part.
Oh, so I get proposed to. I'm in tears. Lumi's in tears. I call her and I'm just like, I'm getting married. She's going, "Ah!" And then I go out to Nori. I'm like, Nori, guess what? And she goes, "Is Phineas alive?" I was like, "No, you bitch." It's like within 6 hours of this happening. It's like, "No, I'm getting married." And she
You
goes,
said I would come back to you and tell you that my bird had resurrected.
"You asked me to marry you on the day of my bird's funeral." My fucking house sparrow that I rescued out of my stupid palm tree. Ugh, whatever. They were cute.
They were cute. You did
They
a
only
good
lived
job.
about 10 weeks. I did something wrong. I had to have messed it up. Leave your hate comments in the comments below.
Maybe they were hit bumped out of the nest for a reason.
They were
Maybe.
hit bumped out of nowhere. My fucking tree collapsed.
Well,
There was 4 of them, and only 2 of them lived, and that happened to be Phineas and Ferb. The other 2, when they dead on impact, they weren't alive, and
they dead.
they squish. You know what I'm saying? They were gone. They were not flapping. But Phineas and Ferb gave them all day for the mom to come back, and she didn't. Remember, you were there that day with Jinjo.
Yep.
And nobody came for them.
Mm.
Just little babies. So I was like, fine, I'll feed them for 3 days. And I heard a that's the noise that they made when they put food. Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
I miss them very much.
That's the birds made.
It was the sound they made. They went "Meow, meow." I was like, oh my god, I gotta feed them. My thing was like the internet was like, oh, you can feed them baby kitty food while they're little. And I'm like, guess what I have a fucking abundance of? Baby kitty food. So I fed them that, and they were good for like 10 weeks, and then was it? I have a video on TikTok if you want to see them. They're really cute.
What's your TikTok?
Follow me on TikTok. It's Tex SMG. Oh, tech support. The tech support SMG. And you'll see my full name and age and everything.
What I look like.
I have a fingerprint clearance card uploaded, my driver's license, social security number, you name it, it's there. But Phineas is in one of the videos. I had a memorial video for him. And then Loche was like, "Yep, this is a great time to propose." It was a great time to propose.
Like we keep going back to that one. I feel like we're going just a little bit.
I'm a little upset about that, but I'm happy to be getting married. I'm excited about that. Anyway, that's all that's new. Now we're a week before school starts, so all my kids are going back to school, and that's going to be exciting. But that's where we're at. I want to hear your fucking tea that you've been boasting about since we got here.
My tea. Well, the tea is, like I'd mentioned, I have this really nice apartment. I got 2 baby boys. I got a boyfriend who loves me a lot. I've been wanting to have a remote job and a job that pays a little bit more than what I do currently. So currently I work as a team member for a veterinary clinic. I happen to be the only person that does that right now, the only front office person that does that, which has been a lot of work. And it's been catching up to me for the last month and a half or something. We had another CST who had quit about a month into her job, and I'd been working there for the past 6 months. So it was fine when we had another person because it's a 2-person job. There's literally split between a front and a back position. And when she left, everything was kind of just put on me and the office manager, which is really hard to deal with. So that was starting to catch up with me. And for the pay that I was getting, I didn't feel like I feel like my wage needed to be adjusted appropriately for the tasks that were being handed to me. And if I'm getting tasks that are not a part of my job or my job description or my position as a CST, then I thought,
get out of here.
Then I'm like, hey, can I get paid just a little bit more, please? And they're like, hey, we don't even do that until you're like 6 months into the job, until we even discuss it. A lot of times we don't even do it until you're a year into the job. And I'm just like,
but you're 2 jobs.
But I'm like, I want to be paid appropriately for the tasks that are being given to me.
I want to be
I want to go home.
I want to go home.
And basically my employer was like, well, inflation and taxes and everything is a tough time right now. And I'm like, indeed, that's why I need it. That's why I need a little bit more. And she's like,
right.
And she's like, well, it's taking a toll on our office too, because I have taxes to pay. And I'm like, so do I.
Sounds you're running up business.
Oh yeah, this is a private business. So I was just like, okay. But she's like, figure out what it is that you think is an appropriate wage. Go through like this month of budgeting and how you need to use your money, and come back to me and tell me what you think is an appropriate wage. And I told her everyone for a front office position right now is getting paid $15 to $17 an hour. That is not
Yeah,
what I'm
buddy.
currently getting paid. And I was like, this is what it is. Now, this is difference by dollars difference, like,
Right.
but a couple, a few dollars difference.
Yeah.
Like, I get that that's a big raise, but for the work that I was doing, I was just like, eh. So she was just like, well, there's no way I want to give you 17. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So where do we go from here? Like, are you gonna give me a couple cents difference? That's not gonna change anything. I've figured out that my manager was getting paid very close to what I was getting paid.
Ooh,
And then all
yikes.
the techs were getting paid higher than me, which, might I say, I'm not even listing what the I've never named the office, nothing, so this should never ever get back to bite me in the ass. But all the techs that work at our office are not certified techs. They're not certified
Ooh, big yikes.
veterinary technicians, which isn't a problem. You don't have to be in the state of Arizona. But they were also newer than me. So the fact they're all getting paid more than me kind of sucks. I just feel like the wages are not balanced out correctly over there. So, so that happened, and so I started looking for a job. But
Right.
here's the thing: we had already gone through this other CST. We'll call her,
Chrysanthemum.
we'll call her Sam. So Sam
Chrysanthemum.
already chrysanthemum for longer than Sam.
Long for Sam.
Long for
Short
Sam.
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. So Sam already left, and we were already in deep shit when she left because we couldn't like do the work. It was hard. So I was like kind of giving my manager the heads up. I'm like, hey, I know we've both been upset about wages. I just want to let you know that I am going to be in the market for a new job soon, but I want to let you know, and I also plan to put in a 2 weeks. That way I can do it appropriately. No one's gonna be upset because I want to do it correctly. I want to formally write a letter of my 2 weeks resignation.
Sure.
All this fun stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm not gonna quit like Sam. Like, you will know, and I want to also be here to help. You know, train in any way. I'm cross-training techs right now so that they could do my job. That way if they had to, they could. Because not everyone knows exactly what I do. Like, they can't do...
If they could, they would.
So I was like, hey, I'll be here for a little bit more. And originally, so I actually landed another job. This past week I did, which is great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The start date initially wasn't until the 29th of August.
Love that. Okay.
Right now we're the 28th, so I have a whole month, which is great. If I decided to tell them now, we would have a month away from my start date.
Yes.
Which would give them time to hire.
Yes.
And train.
Yes.
At least a little bit of training, before I had to go the basics. Well, I tell my head tech, hey, this is last week. The office was closed because the doctor was out of office. Mind you, the doctor did not pay any of us for the time that we were not working. The time that she had to be out of office getting paid.
This is why you don't go private.
Unless we were working.
Yeah.
Unless we were working those days. Head tech got all of the days to work. I got 2 of the days because of seniority, and then the new techs got 1 day. So one of those days that I was working, I let the head tech know. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna let you know. The same thing I told my manager, which was great. Hey, I'm looking for a new job. I'm gonna be here probably about like another month. Don't tell the doctor this. Because don't tell her anything yet until I tell her. Because I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Because doctor was out of town. Why am I gonna text her right now? Tell her that I was looking for another job. Whatever. She's out of town visiting her father. So
her dear
that
old
was
father, her father,
literally
lives in a
last Friday.
cabin
That was last Friday that I
in
took
the
my head tech.
mountains.
Yeah,
So
in the
sweet, so
so
pure. Cooked
so
banana
kind.
bread on weekends. Gives
Mm-hmm.
fresh menudo to the birds,
To the birds,
to the
all
birds.
in his pizza oven.
Oh, so, so delicious.
So delicious.
Visit her
Anyway,
dad. Okay, sorry.
she's with her dad. Um, my dogs are eating my chair as I speak.
The trees are burping.
This was last Friday that I told the head tech that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, of course, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure,
Okay.
uh-huh."
Yeah.
Well, I got pulled into the office yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, I get pulled into the office. It was supposed to be Tuesday, which is the first day of the week, but we worked hella over hours or overtime. So we didn't actually get to talk. But my doctor texted me and she's like, "Hey, apparently we need to talk." I'm like, "Okay, all right." Um, didn't get to talk to me yesterday, which is fine. That's when we needed to talk. I was also gonna let her know that I was openly looking for a job, and I was gonna put in a month instead of 2 weeks. I was gonna be helpful. However, come Tuesday, I get contacted by the new job, the remote
Okay.
job, and they're like, "Hey, I have an opening for you, August 15th."
Okay,
Which
this
is
2
a lot,
weeks from now.
2 weeks. So now I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can put in a 2 weeks and be fine. That's appropriate."
Yeah.
I went over and told my manager, "Hey, just found out I'm working I can put in my 2 weeks now. Technically, it's 3 weeks from now that I get my next job, but I can put in my 2 weeks now." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. I had already scheduled interviews for my position already, by the way."
Okay.
So I go into the office and I'm like, "Do I just shut the door?" And she's like, "It's up to you." Like, okay, I'll shut her door. And I sit down and she's like, "Yeah, do you want to share with me?" And I'm like, what is it? What are you expecting?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, well, I just want to know because you're telling everyone in the office that you're looking for a new job." And I'm like, and I just stopped her there immediately. I'm like, "First of all, I'm not telling everyone in the office that I'm getting a new job. I told my manager because we were in the same boat when Sam left. I told her that I was not going to leave like Sam and that I would let her know when I was going to put in a 2 weeks notice when I got a job. This was yesterday that I told her this.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, but you also told our head tech." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And I told her to keep her fat fucking mouth shut.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And I just told her last week because you weren't here last week and I wasn't going to text you while you're visiting your dad. And I told her to keep that between us until I told you. I'm like, "So that's really cool." Well, since you think you already know, I'm due to work 3 weeks from now, and I wanted to talk to you about putting in a formal week notice, right? Right. She was so upset about the fact that other people knew before she did, which wasn't the case. I didn't tell other people. I told them, here's a heads up, that she was like, "Well, like something like you should have decided to tell me before you told everyone else." And I was like, "So how would you want me to go about this? Do you want me to put in a formal 2 weeks? Because that's what I was planning on doing." And she was like, "No, I think you're okay to leave today." This was yesterday. She goes, "I think you're okay to be done today."
Petty.
Yeah, I don't need you to be here for another 2 weeks, actually.
Who's gonna be the one job that you're not gonna be able to do?
Don't need you. And then this is in between her last patient. And so she called me into her office. She's like, "We gotta hurry because I'm planning to do, well, it was like a mini procedure. She's doing an injection in the eye or something.
Cool.
It was like a subconj." And she's like, "Well, so I have a subconj to go do. But thank you so much for everything. If you're still here by the time I get back, then I guess I'll say whatever, but I got a subconscious to go do. So she's like, thank you for everything. Yeah, and then she left. She lets to go do her procedure.
God damn.
And like I'm shaken up, obviously, because I was gonna put in at 2 weeks. I don't work until 2 weeks from now. I don't. How am I gonna make money in the next 2 weeks? Like, hello? She just let me go, basically. And I even confirmed with her, I'm like, you don't want me to fulfill 2 weeks? Like, I wanted to help and help train and everything. And she was like, we're not going to have someone in the next 2 weeks, so you can just go. I'm like,
who's going to do your job in the next 2 weeks?
Don't know, don't care.
Fucking
so I ran and found my manager real quick because she was cleaning up rooms. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, I don't know how she's going to go about it. I don't know how she's going to plan to tell everyone. I'm letting you know I didn't just quit like Sam. I offered to put my 2 weeks in. I did all this. She just let me go today. And my manager is obviously like, what? She's like, why did she do that? And she's like, we don't, like, how are we going to do everything? She's like, I don't know why she would do that. And I'm like, well, she did it. And she's like, okay, well, don't even worry about closing out the last patient. She's like, just get whatever you want to take and just go. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm so sorry for everything. That really sucks. I don't know why she did that. I don't know why either. But I just like
I can tell you why.
I just left my key at the desk and then I took a couple of things and then I left. Like I just didn't even talk to the last person. Just left. Definitely not at all what I was expecting. So as of right now, I'm unemployed. And I've been trying to work on
bomb drop, Loom.
I've been trying to work on registering for unemployment. But yesterday, I was so bummed that I came home and I crashed for hours, and I didn't wake up until like 5 today. So,
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Damn, Loom. What if with tea? That wasn't tea. That was bomb drops.
Sad.
That's okay. You know.
So, and this is coming from a woman who knew my financial struggle, knew my medical struggles and everything that I was dealing with, and just goes like, "Oh yeah, I don't need to pay you for another 2 weeks. You could go."
It's like it's kind of petty. I will say though, from work that I've done for private doctors, it's always private doctors. They're petty. Because it's like, well, this is my practice. It's like a power move, but it's like you're only shooting yourself and all your employees in the foot. Is what you're doing, really. All to prove you a point that like, but you're like, you're just gonna go home. It's not your business. You know what I mean? It's petty.
Yeah, so I told everyone who's around me that wasn't around her, because there's like 2 other techs in the back. There's a head tech who couldn't keep her mouth shut, and another one of the new girls, which we were bonding well. I thought me and the head tech had it nice too, but she went ahead and shot her own self in the foot. So if she struggles at all within the next 2 weeks, you have no one but yourselves to blame for sharing information that did not involve you.
Right.
So instead of having help for a month out, y'all have to start doing shit today.
Like right now, yeah. GG.
So sucks to suck, but none of you guys liked me in the first place.
I'm sorry, Loom. That happened in my very, very first job too.
I'm not even like petty enough to even run their names through the mud.
Well, no, because it's not about that.
No, I do know that. I should have fucking seen it. My head tech and my manager are like getting really excited because they want to have their own podcast, gossip, drama, and stuff. I'm like, so there's a tea if you want to deal with people that love to watch other people suffer. Shout out to whatever their fucking podcast will be.
Ooh, yikes! I don't know if I want to start this podcast off of a hiatus with with that, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It's Scooch.
No, so I don't know how I'll be living for the next 2 weeks.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'll probably eat my dog.
Do you need to? Yeah, too.
too.
Just pick the least favorite. pick them right
Well,
now.
Buster isn't big enough, so he's not going to be very nutritious.
Yeah,
So
but Ginger's really lean and gamey, so like
true.
maybe Giuseppe. Get some
Oh,
chicken wings.
chicken wings. Somebody doesn't like me.
You're welcome to come over for some dinner sometime
Thank you.
if you'd like extra food.
I'm actually thinking about making salmon bowls tonight,
Ooh, that sounds good.
but I have a bunch of food from Master. I don't know how to make rice without a rice cooker.
I can
Do
show you.
you?
Yeah.
In a pan? That would be nice.
You put it in a pan, you put some water in the pan, you boil it,
Boil it?
and then you stop.
Okay.
It's actually really simple. So it's like whatever rice you're cooking, put as much water in the pan as it says, and then you set it to boil like just in the flat water. And the moment it starts boiling, you turn the boil off, put a lid on it, and you let it sit.
Yeah, because I burnt rice before. Didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, that's if there's not enough water in it.
Okay, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
See
Do you
on
want to go do your salmon bowls right now?
Oh yeah, well we're probably finishing up here.
Yeah.
But what
okay.
what a way to start this podcast back up.
Happy season 2 of Extra Friends, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Happy season
2.
2.
That's okay. We'll see what this next year brings us.
Yeah.
This next quarter, half a year that we do this for.
Quarter. I'm excited. I get to be at home. I get to be with my babies. I can work out. I can eat. I can clean. I can do whatever I want in the day and not have to deal with these shitty gas prices.
I mean, honestly, might be in a
it's gonna
good
be
spot.
great. It might be great. I'm excited.
Great.
This space is a safe space. I'm in a better living condition than I was when we last left off. And I have a better work future for me than the last time we left off. So
100%. Nowhere else to go but
we've
up.
come full circle since the last time you've heard us.
Full circle, but it's also like we're 1 year older, 1 year happier, 1 year safer than we were last year.
And I know more now than I did before.
You absolutely do. Do you wanna lead us in our checkouts today?
Sure. I'm feeling surprisingly more energetic. I think it's because I got that off my chest.
Yeah.
And I was holding that for you to share on here.
So sorry, Loom. You shouldn't have done that.
But it was funny. Well, I mean, it just happened, so
yeah.
I've been bummed, really. But starting this again has got the fire and passion lit in me again, so I'm really excited.
That'll be cool.
So high energy, uncomfortable.
Okay, I like to
my
hear
rose. I want to give my rose at the end now.
Fucking rose.
My rose is that I feel really happy. Like, in spite of everything that's going on and the circumstances that I've unfortunately been in, like, I'm very happy.
Good.
Also, I got to pick my schedule with my new job, and I picked days off that match my friends.
Oh, that'll be great.
And my schedule is 12 to 8.
That's really good. So you can like stay up late and sleep in late.
Yeah, I can. So excited.
That's gonna be great, Loom. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll give my checkout. A little happy ending there. I appreciate that. I'm gonna say I'm low energy, low comfortability. I am comfortability. I gotta go take a shower because my allergies are spreading like crazy.
I'm sorry.
Man, I've been spreading like crazy. No, you haven't. So I'm gonna go do that. But thank you so much for joining us again on the Extra Friends podcast. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be hanging out with you, Loom. We're gonna have extra friends on here too. This won't just be us. But I'm excited to get back into season 2 Extra Friends. This will be posted next Sunday, so we'll work on that. But check us out. We're happy to be back.
Yep. Alrighty. We'll see you next time.